The first few days without sugar felt like a battle against my own body. I had always relied on those quick bursts of sweetness to get me through the day, but now, as I embarked on this 2-week journey, I was determined to break free from the chains of sugar dependency. The first 3 days were the hardest. Cravings surged like waves, relentless and demanding. I felt an ache for the sugary snacks I had once enjoyed so freely. However, I reminded myself that this discomfort was merely a sign of my body adjusting to a new normal. As the days rolled on, something remarkable began to happen. By the end of the first week, the cravings had dulled significantly. My body was slowly recalibrating, reducing the levels of insulin that had previously spiked with every sugary treat. I began to notice a change in my hunger patterns too. Without the constant roller coaster of blood sugar spikes and crashes that sugar had orchestrated, I found myself feeling fuller for longer. Meals became satisfying rather than merely a means to stave off the next craving. I could actually focus on the flavors of whole foods, appreciating the natural sweetness of fruits and the richness of grains. Energy levels transformed as well. Gone were the mid-afternoon slumps that had plagued my workdays. Instead, I experienced a steady stream of vitality that lasted throughout the day. I felt lighter, not just in body but in spirit. My mind was clearer, sharper. I could concentrate on tasks without the fog that had often accompanied my post-meal lethargy. It was as if I had reclaimed a part of myself that had been dulled by the constant intake of sugar. In the first week, I also noticed a subtle shift in my body. The scale revealed a loss of weight, which I later learned was primarily due to the shedding of excess water weight and the initial fat stores that my body was now using for energy. Clothes that had once felt snug began to fit more comfortably, and I reveled in the feeling of freedom that came with it. I could move more easily, and the little things, like bending down to tie my shoes, felt less laborious. But the benefits extended beyond the physical. My mood stabilized, and I found myself approaching daily challenges with a calmness I hadn't experienced in a long time. The irritability that once flared up over minor inconveniences faded, replaced by a sense of contentment. Friends commented on my newfound focus. Conversations flowed more easily, and I was more present, listening intently rather than drifting off into thoughts of dessert or sugary snacks. As I looked in the mirror, I noticed a difference in my skin. The breakouts that had plagued me for years began to diminish, revealing a clearer, more radiant complexion. It was as if my body was thanking me for the reprieve from sugar's harsh effects. Joint stiffness that I had attributed to age or long hours at a desk began to dissipate. I felt more agile, and the inflammation that had settled in my knees and hands was less pronounced. My body was transitioning to burning fat for fuel, and it felt liberating. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The initial days were marked by headaches and fatigue, symptoms that many experience when cutting sugar from their diets. I learned that supplementing with vitamin B and potassium could alleviate these temporary discomforts, and I made sure to incorporate those into my routine. As the 14 days came to an end, I felt like a different person. I had not only conquered my sugar cravings, but had also opened the door to a healthier lifestyle. The journey was challenging, but the rewards, stabilized energy levels, improved mood, clearer skin, and a more comfortable body made every moment worthwhile. I had learned that breaking free from sugar was not just about deprivation. It was about rediscovering the joy of nourishing my body with what it truly needed.